How did my dad's no cooking rule almost kill him at his own promotion dinner? My dad banned all cooking in our house after his chef brother humiliated him at Thanksgiving. And I mean all cooking. No stove, no microwave, nothing. He literally removed the power cord from our oven and took it to his office like some kind of kitchen dictator. When my uncle called dad's attempt to make turkey shoe leather, his face turned purple. He threw his apron on the floor and said our family would never cook again. Mom tried to reason with him, but he went full butthurt and spent 3 hours removing every cooking appliance from the kitchen. We were only allowed pre-packaged, ready-to-eat foods, cold cuts, protein bars, bagged salads with those little dressing packets. Even boiling water was forbidden, because that counted as food preparation. For months, I watched my friends eat normal hot meals while I unwrapped another sad sandwich. Kids at school thought I was lying when I said we couldn't even make ramen. The embarrassment was pretty bad, but then I started getting these dizzy spells during basketball practice, and my legs would cramp up so bad I'd have to sit out. That's when I realized this wasn't just about dad's stupid pride. This diet was literally making me sick. I went to the library after school and started researching nutrition. Turns out I discovered my exact symptoms matched severe magnesium deficiency, which made perfect sense since processed foods have basically zero magnesium. So I started my own secret operation, using lawn mowing money to buy supplements. Within 2 weeks of taking them, my cramps disappeared, and I could actually finish practice again. I became obsessed with reading ingredient labels, memorizing which preservatives were in everything we ate because I needed to know what was poisoning me slowly. I turned into this weird ingredient encyclopedia, knowing every chemical in our entire kitchen, because survival literally depended on it. Then came the dinner that changed everything. Dad's boss was coming over, and this wasn't just any dinner. Dad's entire promotion depended on impressing this man. Plus, if he got the job, he'd travel 3 weeks out of the month, and I could finally go back to cooking normal hot food. Dad spent hours arranging fancy, the sad cold cuts on our good china, explaining his efficient eating philosophy, while Mr. Kellerman looked increasingly uncomfortable. Mom just sat there silent, dying inside watching Dad serve lunch meat for the most important dinner of his career. About halfway through, just as Dad was bragging about eliminating unnecessary food rituals, Mr. Kellerman casually mentioned his deadly shellfish allergy while reaching for another slice of the premium deli meat Dad had special ordered. I had a rush of blood to my head. During all my obsessive ingredient research, I'd memorized that this specific deli meat brand used shellfish extract as a preservative. It was buried in tiny print that nobody ever reads unless they're desperately trying to figure out why they're sick all the time like I was. Dad had already eaten 3 slices and was going for his 4th, while Mr. Kellerman's hand moved toward the platter in slow motion. My brain screamed at me to move. If the boss went into anaphylactic shock, Dad wouldn't get the job and I'd be stuck eating cold cuts forever. I launched myself across the table like a maniac, slapping the meat out of both their hands while screaming shellfish at the top of my lungs. The plate shattered. Mom shrieked and Mr. Kellerman jumped back looking terrified. Dad started yelling about disrespect until I grabbed the package with shaking hands, pointing at the ingredients while gasping about shellfish extract. Mr. Kellerman pulled out his phone flashlight, studied the label, and his face went white as paper. This would have killed me, he said slowly, staring at Dad like he'd never seen him before. The silence was deafening as Mr. Kellerman processed that a teenager caught something 2 grown men missed completely. He asked Dad point blank why his 16-year-old son knew more about food safety than he did. Dad stammered something about efficiency, but Mr. Kellerman cut him off, saying he was deeply disturbed that Dad fed his family nothing but processed garbage and nearly poisoned his boss. Mom finally exploded, telling Mr. Kellerman about the months of cold sandwiches and Dad's insane control issues, how I'd been getting sick from malnutrition. Dad's whole face crumbled as he realized his pride had almost murdered his boss and destroyed his career in one dinner. Mr. Kellerman left early, saying he needed to reconsider someone who prioritizes ego over family safety. The next morning, Dad reinstalled every kitchen appliance while apologizing over and over. I ate hot ramen for breakfast with my eyes closed.